flex. The livest one in the section. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga, boo. I'm an 88 pack nigga, boo. I mean, day walker, drink blood, trains out, full moon, motherfucker, change like a hoe, nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood, tryna stack a little cheddar for the money.
Come on in and smash the damn like button, man. I ain't playing with y'all this evening, man. You already know what time it is. Y'all let me know if the buck dancing music is too loud. Is it too loud? Let me turn it down to 50. Turn it down to 45 for y'all. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. I see y'all in the building, man. I see y'all in the building. Let me highlight this clown real quick. First comment in. He says, Boots don't owe Bud or his despicable fans a goddamn thing. Winning the hell was Bud, his fans on code with Black America. Boots or his family or anything. Boozy respected Bud. Now, before I even started the live, Stormy, before I clicked the button, what did I just, you know what I just said to you, right?
Yep.
You know what I just said to you, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, the enemy of my enemy. If I can look at Mellow Yellow in Baltimore, if I could look at Mellow Yellow and ask him, man, why are you behaving that way? Why are you high-fiving Ryan? If I can ask what that's about and be completely justified, I need to ask, what is your issue with this right here? Let me give you a bit of information right now. If it's announced right now, Wembley, Fury versus AJ. I'm rolling with AJ. That's just who I am. Now, you can call me a race soldier, please. Please. But if you're brown, isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Because every time this motherfucker fights, all I hear is Viva Mexico, and the crowd goes crazy. Why is Viva Mexico okay? Why is Viva Puerto Rico okay? Dominican Republic, Cuba, why is that okay? Y'all want to know why I got a problem with Boots? Pull up a damn chair, kick your feet up, and stop talking, because you can't learn nothing when you're talking. Why I gotta teach y'all how to be black? Because apparently what I'm looking at between the internet and in my comment section, you YNs have no idea. Which is why I don't like you. Which is why I don't like you. Which is why I'm in a space now. When I see a cop with his entire boot up your ass, I'm literally sitting here like, well, damn, what that little nigga do? That's where I'm at now. I don't like y'all. I don't. I don't expect anything from y'all. I don't expect greatness from y'all. I don't. But this is what I asked for. You see, I appreciate you YNs and you grown adolescents with YN mentality. All I wanted was for you clowns to show me who you are. So it's one less Negro I gotta worry about out here in these streets. Yeah. What is my problem with Boots and his decision? Okay. And shout out to Blue Blood because I saw this earlier. And I always love it when I think of something and the family puts it out, because that means we're on the same wavelength. Let me ask you brown motherfuckers a question. Oh, y'all making it about race. Okay, let's make it about race. What if Ortiz took his ass over to Bud's camp right now and was helping him prep for Canelo, what would you say? What would you say? I know what you would say. I know what you would say. Was it not Canelo Alvarez that said, I represent Mexico. I'm not fighting any more Mexican fighters. He's a liar because they don't get no more Mexican than Jaime Munguia. He just said that because he wanted to get away from David Benavidez. What he should have said was, I don't want to fight no Mexican, Ecuadorian / American brown fighters. But the man told you, I'm not fighting Mexicans no more. But he lied. But the fact that he said it and y'all supported it, y'all had no problem with it. I said, hey, man. Because he said that before Bud and Errol locked horns. And I said, hey, man, if Bud and Errol said, I'm not fighting no more black fighters, there goes the sport. There goes the sport. What is my problem with Bud? He's helping Team Reynoso. You know Team Reynoso? The popcorn factory? The cheaters? And you're over there. And any of you that think that he just went there like the other day, no. He was there for at least a month and a half. Maybe 2 months. He's been there. Y'all don't think it's weird that he was turning down all these fights? Y'all don't think that was weird? He put Canelo Alvarez as a priority? Y'all want to put out a picture with Canelo with a swole eye? Motherfucker, that's supposed to be Bud putting that swollen eye on his face. He's not supposed to be helping this cheater. Y'all forgot he's a cheater? Why is this little nigga over there? But y'all have these personal vendettas that y'all can't put aside for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds. Y'all can't stop what you're doing. I remember watching Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier before, I forget which fight. And I forget which talk show. But they were joking, but Ali looked at Frazier. He said, let's put our shit aside and get him. It was joking. It was a little joke. But God damn it, there's
In fact, Ali was noted to say that on more than a couple of interviews where he was on panel with Joe, and he said that to more than one interviewer. He's like, you trying to get two brothers to fight. He's like, we ought to get you. That's what he said.
Exactly. You niggas can't put things aside for 2 seconds. Y'all don't see the play with this? Y'all don't see? If Ortiz took his ass to Bud's camp right now and said, forget that, man. I'm getting you ready for Canelo. Y'all would have a meltdown. I know you would. When I opened up my panel after Canelo said, I don't want to fight another Mexican. A Mexican came up here and said, I said, are you cool with that? He said, hey, man, he doesn't want to hurt his people. Huh? Wait a minute. He's not hurting his people. He's paying them. He just gave Munguia a payday, did he not? What are we talking about? By the way, where is Jaime Munguia? How long is his suspension? And Boots is down there right now. You think he's doing Bud a favor? No. He's helping him. But the enemy of my enemy, you see why? Didn't this dumb nigga get in my chat and say that? Oh, I said, yo, why Tank act like that after all we found out with Ryan Garcia? Why is he acting like that towards Devin with the Ryan Garcia thing? He's standing in the pocket for Ryan Garcia. What is that about? The dumb nigga, so happy to be from Baltimore. God bless his kids. He said he got 4 sons. The dumb nigga said, yo, man, the enemy of my enemy. What? No hope. I don't see Mexicans doing this to each other. I don't see Jewish people doing this to each other. I don't see no Matter of fact, you could turn on the TV and the person could be Venezuelan and you have a Puerto Rican, a Dominican, and everybody else. They're riding with someone that speaks their language over the black person. That's just how it is. And you know what? Stand on it. It's cool. You're not going to shame me for standing on mine. It's man down over here, but the bottom line is Bud kicked Daryl's ass, and we ain't seen him since. Now, does Bud fuck with us? He hasn't done one interview. Nothing. He does with big platforms. He don't fuck with us, but at no point am I rooting for Canelo over Bud. I'd be crazy. I'd be crazy, especially since Canelo's a fucking cheater. The WBC is ridiculous. I don't even need to know where you niggas stand. You show me every day. And these niggas in the goddamn limelight, all you niggas, listen. And I'm gonna cook on this in a separate video. Y'all saw what happened to Rampage Jackson and his son? Well, his son? I saw it yesterday. I didn't know what the fuck I was watching. I said, okay, pro wrestler takes a prop beer can and hits the kid in the head. Then they go to the wrestling match. The kid who's significantly smaller than this fat white guy dumps him on his head and starts tuning him up. I said, whoa. Come to find out, that's Quentin Rampage Jackson's son. I just found that out today. And I said, wow, you know, that's a little weird. I got into it with Rampage a couple of months ago over this Ryan Garcia shit. And I was very respectful. But he came for me, so I said, well, fuck you. You about to fight Rashad again. I hope he knocks you out. And fuck you. I love Ryan, never bet against him. You don't sue people for losing. No, he was getting sued for cheating. What the fuck? And you didn't hear when he said, I want to resurrect George Floyd and kill him again and join the Ku Klux Klan? Quentin, you ain't hear that? You didn't read? I didn't come at you like that. I said, hey, man, maybe you don't know. And I know you got attacked. But you need to focus, Daniel's son. Speaking of son, your son just fucked up. That was assault. That was assault. So, please don't play with God. All that shit you said, now your son might be looking at jail time. Cut from his own cloth, because that was ignorant. I said that to say
there's Deion Sanders and his son. Didn't Deion embrace Ryan?
Deion embraced Ryan.
And put God in it too, didn't he?
There you go.
And we know what Ryan said about thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus, thank you, Jesus. And then what did he say in the very next sentence after that? For a man that's supposed to be representing God and God's word and everything, they had no God in it.
Y'all notice I ain't say nothing about no Sanders family, right? Y'all notice I never said anything? I'm just watching. When I say sometimes you don't got to lift a finger, sometimes you ain't got to say a fucking word. Just let God handle it. And he's been at work. So look, I'm looking at what's going on over there. I ain't got nothing to say. I'm looking at what happened. I didn't even know that was Rampage's son until this morning. I said, oh, man. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So we've been on Boots' bumper and trying to figure out what the hell is he doing? Now, me and Stormy been talking behind the scenes. We been like, you know what? I think Eddie Hearn is lining him up for Conor Ben at Wembley. He's giving him this bullshit lineup. We don't know who this guy he's fighting is. I don't know this guy. But let's just say, for the sake of argument, Boots beats that guy. He's lining him up for Conor Ben. I gotta figure that. And if he fights Conor Ben in the UK, I'll be shocked if Boots wins that fight. But guess what? Thank you, Boots. I am no longer emotionally involved in dealing with you. Thank you. There's no coming back from this. I'm not in the business of forgiving you niggas. I'm done. Absolutely, it's a race thing. Absolutely. If Ortiz went to Bud's camp today and said, I'm going to help you get ready for Canelo, y'all would have a meltdown. Y'all so quick to tell us what it's not about race. You off-code niggas, you motherfuckers, y'all still on this, oh, Bud fans don't. Listen. This is bigger than your personal beef. This is bigger than Bernie cursing you out on his platform somewhere. This is bigger than you fussing with a Bud fan somewhere. I don't know if you and your feelings of drink more water says something you. Fuck that! Shut up! Get over it! Get over it! Because if Bud goes in there and gets his ass whooped, then what? You ain't gonna be worried about no goddamn. What are you gonna be? Oh, I'm an Errol fan. Ha ha ha. Oh, I'm a Boots fan. Ha ha ha. Yeah, and when you start seeing accent marks over the U's and E's and O's cussing your dumb ass out, they exist off of our dysfunction. I'm tired of telling y'all niggas this. Boots is over there with Team Cheat. And I hope Boots hits Canelo so hard he fly out the ring like it's Team Rocket from goddamn Pokemon. You know, every episode they get knocked off the screen. Now I got my own things about what might go on in this fight, and I'm nervous now. Just because of everything that I'm hearing behind the scenes. But I'm gonna land my plane right there, Stormy. What you and salute Trick Nolte in the building, man. My brother, salute. Stormy, what you got, brother?
Salute, Trick. How you doing this evening, bro? Can you hear us, Trick?
He has a lag. I think he has a lag. Just go ahead and cook, brother. Go ahead and cook.
No, I'm gonna tell you something though, bro. I can't listen to that music the whole show. I can't. I have to get up out of here. The thing that needs to be understood here is that just like in your chat before the show even started, this comment was left. Where is the consideration and everything that we seem to show to other people who do a number on us and have done a number on us throughout time, and people are so forgiving and they have this sense of wanting to turn the other cheek and all of that, but to have so much venom for your own kind, that tells me that you are, as we have used this term, and I see that more of our young brothers and sisters are using it, which is a good thing. Agents of chaos. You're dropped down in the midst of what we do because to show that there is no code. I heard Blue Blood say that earlier in one of his live streams. He was saying when it comes down to our people, there's no code. Oh, there is definitely a code. I would highly disagree with that. And that's not even going at war with them about it, but it's the fact that we have shown a propensity to not acknowledge ourselves. And that's a sickness, an illness psychologically within ourselves. When you have been put through so much that you begin to accept the punishment, accept the pain as something that's good for you. Do you know, with the advancement of medicine, that our people have been subjugated to the practices, guinea pigs, so to speak. Our women and our children have been used as lab experiments. Our pain threshold was told amongst these people that we're not normal, so we could take more. We can endure more. So that's why with no anesthesia, cutting people open and pulling limbs and organs and things of this nature while you are not sedated. These things were done to our people. The Tuskegee experiment is a lighter sense of what was transpiring with us, but the horrors of feminine medicine, psychological medicine, is something that you couldn't stomach it if I were to lay out the actual details of this. But for someone to come in and say, well, it's okay, they had to do this to advance medicine only on a certain people, are you saying? Which is exactly, times haven't changed. Bill Gates is doing it right now again. And he's been doing it over the past 30 years. Why does he want to take everything that he does over in Africa and guinea pig all these people from these countries over in Africa? Where is your hate and despisement for that? Why can't you chime in with those smarmy remarks when it comes down to things like that? And here, we just simply talk the sport of boxing, huh? And you want to come over in here and disrupt and engage and everything. Where were you when the young man walked into that church and decided that he wanted to brandish a weapon and eliminate people who he has sat through service with? And police, when finally brought him to justice, they put a bulletproof vest on the guy and took him to Burger King.
Sure did.
You putting a bulletproof vest on Ryan Garcia. You putting Ryan Garcia in the front seat of your vehicle, driving him to Burger King. You don't see the ignorance that you reflect within your own actions. You don't notice that what you're doing is damaging to your own. And because you don't see the injury, you don't see the smashing of what we have as a community as self-hate and self-effacing damaging actions, you think that it's comfortable to just come in and do this. But we're here to tell you, no, it's improper, it's inappropriate, it's ignorant and vile. And people like you should be cast out.
Yep.
Not included. You should be separated, maybe even incarcerated, because you are a deadly germ to the society of a nucleus of people who have been oppressed since long before you were born. Your own kind. An agent of chaos is what you and many others like you happen to be. And you should be eliminated. Just like when they were doing those lab experiments on our people with no anesthesia or whatever, you should be held down and analyzed and maybe sliced open and looked at to see what's wrong with your genetic makeup, that you can't get it right, that you can't get it together, that you don't want to be right. You don't want to be together. You don't want your people together. You don't want us on one accord. So you are a threat to me, my livelihood, my family, my community. That's what you are. And I'll land my plane right there.
Trick, you can hear me? I think my brother got a lag on there.
Hit him in the private chat.
You hear me?
Yeah, there's a little bit of a lag, just a little bit of a lag.
Let me go out and come back.
Okay. Let Let me turn the music all the way down.
Turn it off, bro.
Yeah.
Turn it off, please.
I'm no longer in the business. Let me see. Come off mute, brother. Let me see. I'm no longer in the business of Yeah, Trick, you can hear me?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Y'all can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. How y'all doing? Salute this evening.
Good, bro.
Good.
Yeah, man. Listen to what both of y'all are saying. I want to use the movie Underworld for a second. Y'all remember when they locked Celine up and the Lycans was coming to destroy the covenant? And that one girl let her out. She said, "I'm not helping you." She goes, "Thanks for helping me." She said, "I'm not helping you. I'm helping me."
Yeah,
I
And
remember that.
yeah, and my thing is, man, like I'm looking at like Boots going over there. It's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? It seems that the guy that ran from Crawford is going to go help Canelo. In my opinion, it's just a super bad look, in my opinion. And he can't help Canelo because him and Crawford don't even fight the same. Yeah, they might go to southpaw, but this guy switches back and forth with Bud, just actually stays in the southpaw stance. You know what I mean? So, even with that being said, it's like definitely being our own worst enemy. I mean, why would you go over there, man? That's just not a good look. Like you said, what if Virgil Ortiz came to come help Crawford? You know what I'm saying? They'd be all over. It'd be a big giant rigmarole. And I don't think it's going to help him, in my opinion. Far as him going over there training with Canelo, he can train to get the sparring, but it's just not a good look. Rashidi Ellis did that too. A lot of people don't know that Rashidi Ellis was. I think Canelo flew him out to Mexico, where he could train for him. I think it was for the I can't remember which fight it was, but I saw Rashidi Ellis on there, smiling and taking a picture with Canelo. Why y'all going over there helping this guy at the same time? When he was at 154, he wouldn't fight neither Charlo brother or Demetrius Andrade, but y'all over there training with him. So just a bad look, man, and shame on you, Boots, man. Good fighter. I'm not gonna take nothing from him, but it's not a good look you going over there, man. And that's like I say, that's all I'm gonna speak on.
When was the last time we saw Speedy Rashidi do anything?
Man, it's been a long time.
Matter of fact, last time I saw him, he lost, didn't he? He lost to the guy that Boots had to go back and beat, right? Did he fight after that?
In fact, how about this? When's the last time you seen Canelo come and show support for Speedy Rashidi?
When is Canelo sat in the front row for any one of these niggas that went and damn near got on their knees and blown them? When you seen Canelo show up to a fight as a fanatic?
He wasn't at the Stanionis fight, was he? I didn't see him.
I ain't see him. You understand?
Yeah.
So let's okay. You want to leave race out of it? Let's leave race out of it. You want to go help a cheater? That motherfucker cheated, bro.
Yeah.
Hands down, he cheated. This is a sport that you participate in, and a potential opponent. Because Boots is a big boy, right?
Yeah.
Boots got to be walking around at 170. What you over there for? The dude's a cheater. What are you over there in the Reynoso gym for? What are you doing there? And by the way, what's the punishment for Munguia? He had the juice up to beat a guy with a low KO ratio. And y'all gonna tell me drugs don't matter? That dude had like three knockouts to his life. That was a stay busy fight. He just went 12 with Canelo. Got in there and got knocked out. And then had the juice just to compete in the rematch? Y'all, please tell me why Boots over there. Who's cool with what knuckle dragger watching me right now? There's 130 people here watching me. Knuckle dragger. Tell me why you cool with this. Explain. Please explain. Maybe you could tell me something that I'm missing. 88 Sports Talking, that super chat salute. He says, when has Canelo ever helped a good black fighter prepare to beat a good Mexican fighter?
Oh, wow.
Uh-oh.
Next.
Uh-oh, salute General. He said Canelo fan base is 80% racist and they support him cheating. Exactly. When I opened up my chat and that Mexican guy got on here and he wasn't disrespectful, he was just honest. I said, what are your thoughts about him saying he don't want to fight another Mexican fighter? He said he doesn't want to hurt his people. I said, well, it's boxing. He's not hurting them. Did he hurt Jaime Munguia? No. Jaime Munguia is a millionaire right now because of that Canelo fight. Mike McCallum said he had a conversation with Marvin Hagler, and he said to Marvin, he said, hey, man, why you never gave me a shot? We're competitors. We're supposed to help each other feed our families. He said, according to him, Marvin just shook his head and just smiled. Do y'all know about that story?
Yeah. There's a video out of it.
Yeah, I'm aware about it. Yeah.
To fight someone is to help them eat. Now, what the fuck do you think Errol, Felix, what up? What the fuck you think Errol was doing with Bud? Errol had to go around the PBC and Al Heyman, and he fed his brother. In a losing effort, he fed his brother. It was at that point, every Bud fan should have been like, yo, good looking out, Errol. Because that, of all things, was his breakout fight. That was his number one rival and the way he won it. And this man down over here. But I'm not rooting against Bud. In this instance, I'm not doing it. And mind you, Bud don't fuck with us. How many panels he's been on? He don't talk to us. But you know something? I understand my community. I do. There's niggas right now. I don't care if Bud's or I don't care if Boots is over there. You dumbass niggas. You don't care? All right. You hang on to Boots. See where that gets you. I know how this ends. I know how this ends.
Canelo was willing to take on Errol when Errol was unified welterweight champion. He was willing to forsake the guys that he should have been fighting at 168 to take Errol on at that time. They were having close negotiations at that time, something that Errol had considered, but he wanted to become undisputed first. But there was still a window of opportunity for him had he been victorious against Bud. And the thing about it is people don't even understand why. Why did Canelo want to face Errol? You can put it together for yourself if you've been following. Funny how when Bud had the performance that he did against Errol, that didn't shift to Bud, did it?
Nope. Didn't help him at all.
Didn't shift that way. People should think about these things. You know, earlier today when I discussed Canelo's last 5 opponents, I talked about the names and the bouts, and they all had one thing in common. None of them that Canelo defeated are as good collectively as Terence Crawford. None of them. And all of them went the distance with Canelo. Whether he was juiced or not, more likely than yes than not, because that's what they've done with him. They've given him par gras to kind of have it his way. But this ain't Burger King coming up on the 13th. It's the Boxing King. And he's about to find that out. The fighter of this era. This ain't no John Ryder. This ain't Jaime Munguia or even Edgar Berlanga. It's not William Skull. It's a two-time undisputed champion of the world.
I'm putting up a poll on both my channels. Is Canelo a cheater? Yes or no?
I have a question. I haven't heard anything about it too much. I remember it's around about 3 weeks ago, maybe when or maybe a little longer than 3 weeks ago when Terence Crawford had posted his test results of him him passing the VADA test. And like a lot of, I don't know if I had this discussion with y'all, but a lot of people don't know this, but he got tested on a Sunday. Mm-hmm. And it takes 24 to 48 hours to for it to come back, the results, whether it's sometimes they take blood, sometimes they take urine, sometimes they take both. I talked to Bernie, and Bernie that day, he said they came in and said they rolled in there like it's like a federal warrant. So they rolled up in there. They tested Bud, and for 2 days, Bud wasn't doing any training. So when he popped back online, maybe that Tuesday or that Wednesday, that's when the results had came back. Because I think from what I was told, you can't when your test results are being looked at, you can't be training. Can't be doing anything. So when you saw Bud back out training, apparently his results came back negative. So but nobody spoke anything about Canelo testing. You know what I'm saying? I want to know, when is his test results going to come out? What's going on with him? I haven't heard anything. What about y'all? Anybody in the chat?
No, I haven't heard anything. But what they want to talk about is Bud with the snack shirt on.
Yeah.
That's what they want to talk about. But Bud never popped dirty. You dumbasses. Bud never popped dirty. Matter of fact, there's some clown in the comment section of one of my videos. And he lied. The dude out and out lied. He out and out lied. So I asked him and I said, listen, name the athlete. You don't have to be exclusive to boxers. Name the athlete that popped dirty using the snack system.
I'll go you one better than that. Name the black fighters that have popped dirty and the fights ended up being canceled. And name the non-black fighters, Mexican and others alike, that popped dirty after they were allowed to have their events.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs.
And even if they did pop dirty before the event, they were still allowed to compete, defend titles, go on and score victory, and have statue ceremonies celebrating them in their hometowns.
Can y'all explain that? Can y'all explain that? Oscar Valpez got a goddamn whole, he got a whole statue. He has a whole statue.
Wow.
Coming up the week beyond his fight with, who was that? The one that they robbed Oshaki against? I
don't know.
Consequia. He popped dirty.
Yeah, right.
And then they had a statue ceremony the week after that fight. Early in the week, it was like the fight was on that Saturday, and then that Tuesday they had an unveiling of a statue for him in his hometown. Where they do that at? I mean, come on. You put the news out there that the guy is a cheat, and so therefore maybe the statue ceremony doesn't happen. But since boxing is a sport that doesn't have ethics, And as some have argued, well, Stormy, there's no code of ethics in boxing. Well, here we go. When are you going to establish some? See, because I'm the only one, Drew's the only one that really talked about that when it happened. Some of you may be refreshed by me mentioning it now because you heard us talk about it when it went down. If you were around at that time, you didn't hear those big channels talking about that.
Oh, no.
You heard them ridiculing Deontay Wilder when a statue ceremony for Tyson Fury was given after that second fight where Fury cheated Wilder in more ways than one. But to hear you tell it, Wilder was nothing. He couldn't box. All he could do is hit people with the right hand and put them to sleep. So why was Fury celebrated with a statue?
But it ain't about race.
Over a guy who was a bronze medalist from the U.S. and couldn't box. So what you celebrating him for? What you bigging him up for?
Let me ask you a question, Stormy. Because Derek Gaines makes a point. Ben Johnson, the Canadian. Remember when he popped dirty in the Olympics?
Yeah.
Never heard from him again. Okay. What's her name? That popped dirty in the Olympics.
Marion Jones.
Marion Jones and her husband.
Yep.
The powerlifter dude. Where they at? I think she went to jail, didn't she?
Yeah.
She did some time. Yep.
It's a fair time.
Where they at?
Yeah. Another thing too, Drew and Stormy, I got a question. Why does boxing glorify cheaters so much as to where you have sports like MLB, NFL, NBA? If somebody gets caught cheating, they pay the price pretty much. But in boxing, it's like when you get caught cheating, it's like nothing happens. Like you said, they gave this man a statue. Canelo then popped dirty, and there's nothing. It's like a slap on the wrist for these guys.
I got a question for you though, Trick. Before Big Baby got to the ring against AJ, they popped him and he had a whole pharmaceutical company in his bloodstream. He didn't fight for how long?
Oh shit!
Like 3 years. Over
3 years, right? Yeah.
So what are we talking about?
I'm getting ready to break the entire ceiling glass for you all with this comment here.
Yep.
Boxing is a sport that is how many years old, guys? Do you know?
Hundreds. Oh, wow.
It's a couple of 100 years old. Okay. How long has the black fighter participated in the sport of boxing?
1900s.
What I'm getting at with this is the reason for the cheating is because of the black dominance in the sport. That's why the cheating is allowed to take place, because without it, there'd be no contest, as to channel the words of Muhammad Ali. There would be no contest. There would be no Caucasian champions. There would be no Mexican champions. There would be no Eastern European champions without having that little bit of an edge. And you can thank Adolf for that, because once he saw Jesse Owens let loose in the 30s in that Olympics, he said, we got to do something. We got to do something, because otherwise these you-know-who's will run everything. And not only will they run everything, Jack Johnson showed them that they'll even take our women from us. Yeah.
Now, everything you just said, Stormy, this is 100% National Geographic facts. But you try to explain the history of this to a YN or old head with a YN mentality.
Yeah.
They don't have the discipline to sit there and learn it, because they're so busy trying to win a fucking argument, trying to justify their position, trying to stick up for a fighter. We're trying to teach you something here. It's actually deeper than boxing. That's what I'm saying. That's what we're saying. It's been deeper than boxing. They want you to think that this is just the sport. And it's unfortunate because these little YNs running around, they think it's just a sport until Boots gets his ass in there with Conor Benn and gets his shit knocked off. In the UK, I'm telling you, Eddie Hearn's lining that dude up. I'm telling you. And when it happens, I'll be sitting just like this in the post fight. See? And that'll be the end of Boots. That'll be the end of Boots. I'm telling you. It's fucking ridiculous, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Boots has no business over there. You have no loyalty. And I'm cool. I need all of you YNs. Show me who you are. You're making it so much easier. You're making it so much. I am detached from this. I'm detached. I'm just letting y'all know where I stand. When this kid start fucking up, hey, Drew, why are you not talking about? Nope. This live right now, I'm letting you know where I stand with this dude. I'm letting you know. Yeah.
Hey, Storm, let me cut you off. I wonder how much Canelo's paying him over there.
I heard it was $10K a month. Can you believe that?
Oh, wow.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Wow.
That's what I heard. I can't confirm.
But Canelo can pay him that. See, this is the thing. What is the price of your integrity?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. Remember, Boots thought he was the best welterweight in the world. He even tried to tell us he was. But when it came down to a little young man who was on the rise named Brian Norman Jr., showing something that hadn't been there for a little while, a few clicks, right? He decided to move on. Because guess what? The metal was about to be tested. So he says that he's going to move up to 154. And they bantied about so many names and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fights didn't take place. The deals didn't get made. Why? Well, when you're securing 10K a month on the low, hey, you can tell people, oh, well, this deal, we tried to make a deal with this one and we tried to say with that one, but, you know, it didn't go through. Nobody wants to face us. Really? Really? Then you said you had ups on behalf of Turkey Al-Sheikh, who told you to go see your promoter about that kind of foolishness because he's only putting on the quality fights. And then people are saying, oh, Turkey is trying to make him bend the knee. No, Turkey is trying to test the water and see if he really wants to step up to the plate of competition. He didn't even want to fight little old Devin Haney. But then came back and said, well, I'll face him at 152, which he didn't really mean that either, especially with how he's behaved with every other thing he has stated. So it's like that was just another form of avoidance. But I would really like someone to find out, because there are people out here who can work behind the scenes for us. Find out if Canelo's people reached out to Boots, or did Boots offer himself and his services up to Canelo? That's the number one question that we need answered.
Yo.
You want to answer that question?
I mean, should I or should I not?
Go ahead, bro. It's all out.
Definitely you should, brother. Welcome to the show.
You know, I'm always on the show. I mean, I haven't been on for a while, right? So salute to the chat, salute to Stormy, from my hometown, Chicago, Trick Nolte. We talk all the time. Listen, boxing is a business, bro.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that.
Business.
But please, no, you know, just refrain from the cliches and everything, because we're getting into the thick of it, man. And this is what
this is what I'm gonna say. I told a certain person on this chat a month and a half ago that this was going to happen. If you don't think that Bud is part of the business, then you're a fool.
Who went to who?
Honestly, I mean, Boots went to Canelo, bro.
There you go.
See, there it is.
There
See,
you
Listen,
go.
I
Now,
don't
do
know.
you understand why I threw the question out there of what is the price of your integrity?
There's no look. I think me, Stormy, and Drew and Trick had a conversation about 3 months ago. Logic doesn't exist in boxing, right? It's a business first before it's anything. And I'll tell you what. What if Bud is part of the business?
Well, the one thing that can be stated about sports and entertainment.
Well, boxing is different, bro.
No. Sports and entertainment. If you are mixed up in it, there are elements of which, even to accomplish anything, there are sacrifices that have to be made for your participation. Otherwise, you're sealed on the outside. Who knows the history of the Roman games? Do you know what they stood for? Why they were introduced?
I mean, Stormy, with all due respect, and Drew and Trick, with all due respect, that all sounds good. But the business of boxing don't operate that way.
Wait a minute, brother. Hold on.
Hold on. Let me finish.
No. You said what I said sounds good. I asked a question.
Hold on. I'm gonna
This
answer
was
that
not
question.
about feeling.
Stormy, let me finish. These things are planned out. We're the only guys that bite into it. That's all I'm gonna say. We're the boxing fans are the only ones that bite into it. Listen to when I say this. Canelo is signed for a 5-fight deal. Bud Crawford is signed to a 0-fight deal. He got paid $400 to $500 million. Do you think it makes business sense for Canelo to lose a second fight into the Riyadh or whatever? I don't know the exact name of the company. Riyadh season for him to lose his second fight in.
There have been professional athletes in boxing and other sports that signed huge deals and never saw them through.
Who?
I would have to go back.
We're talking about boxing.
Yeah, yes, we are talking about boxing. But when I originally said the Roman games, do you know why they were created?
Stormy, you're a guy with
yes or no, brother? Yes or no?
Hold on. I'm going to. You're a guy with a lot of knowledge, and you're from my hometown, Chicago.
That has nothing to do with what I just said, man. No. Don't do that because
let me finish, brother.
I have a lot of knowledge, but there's certain things that can't be said on the airwaves, which is why I took you to that. You understand? You're protected.
I'm not protected.
Yes.
I don't give a fuck about this sport, bro.
Okay, well then answer the question then.
Listen, what makes you think that Bud's not part of the game?
I'm not talking about Bud. I asked you, do you know why the games were created?
Do I know?
I don't know.
Drew, handle.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know? If you don't know, say you don't know, man. If you do know, I would like to hear the answer.
Maybe I'll give you my personal cell phone, which Drew has, and we can talk offline.
Listen, if you wanted me to have an offline conversation with you, you could have been done that. We're on the air, and we're talking about something.
You see what Drew?
But I'm trying. We have people listening in the chat, and there are many people who are young and don't have historical knowledge. I just spoke on the fact that boxing has been around for a couple of 100 years. And once the black fighter was allowed to participate in the sport and fight for championships and titles, things changed. And they had to develop a way to either slow that change down and control it or not include.
Okay, let me ask you a story.
It happened for a number of generations.
Sorry, let me ask you a quick question. Straight up, just me and you. Drew and Trick, stay out of this one.
If you want to ask me a question,
I'm asking
answer the question that I asked you first.
Okay.
Stop placating.
I'm not placating, Stormy.
Okay, well, answer the question. You either know the answer or you do not.
I'd rather stay out of that one.
Okay. For historical sake, the Roman games were created as a means of controlling the people because Caesar had a way of running things, okay? And it was unfavorable, and to temper the people from revolting and causing chaos in the community and all of that. They put on these games for people. And that was a way of, like someone said in the chat a moment ago, distracting. But the games were brutal. The only thing that changed is the calendar date. And when these games take place, you have to understand there was favoritism within these games and how to control people's attention. There were those who weren't as popular. There were those who were popular. They would see to it that the popularity of the sport was the most thing because that is what kept you invested. Okay? And sometimes you can drown out your sorrows and everything through drink and being inebriated and not understanding that you're still under a manipulated situation. This is educational because it's still happening in 2025. You got people who come online here and argue and fight with one another over these games that are controlled. You don't think that next year's Super Bowl is already decided? You don't think that the NBA title is already decided? What in the world makes you think that a guy punching another guy in the face cannot be controlled as well? I am not saying that this is not something that happens. Everybody that is in this is in this.
Can I step in for a minute? Can I step in for a minute, Stormy?
Go ahead.
Hey, Drew, Stormy, and Trick. When's the last time you seen Canelo post up a Mexican sparring partner?
I think we had said that just before you pulled up.
When?
Before you pulled up.
No, but who?
Now, you asked when was the last time he posted a Mexican sparring partner, right?
Yeah. So who?
No, we said he hasn't.
He hasn't. So who's Terrence Crawford main sparring partner?
His main sparring partner?
Yeah.
You got me.
It's a Mexican guy.
Yeah.
I think it's a Mexican guy from what I heard.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
What the fuck is his name? Because he's in the rankings.
Yeah, he's on the
undercard. You're trying to allude to Lester
Martinez. No.
Martinez.
Stormy. I'm not trying to allude to that. I'm trying to tell you. And listen, this is a business. One is signed for 5 fights, and one is signed for 0 fights. Bet on the guy who's got 5
Lester Martinez. Thank you. Thank you, boxing fans.
I said it already.
Bet on the guy who has 5 fights guaranteed. Don't bet on the guy who has 0 fights guaranteed.
All right, let me say something about that.
Go ahead, Drew.
Let me say something about that. Sometimes, because I see Coach Hudson dropping that knowledge in there.
Yeah, tell him to step in.
sometimes not having a deal, that's the dark horse. That's the dark horse. Now,
Is it?
sometimes, I'm gonna give you an example of that.
Go ahead.
Chris Algieri was not supposed to beat Ruzan Provodnikov on HBO. That shit was not supposed to happen. They were trying to rally behind that.
You sure about that?
No, I'm sure, bro. I'm sure.
Lord Rung B-side was
what if I
not
told you
supposed to
otherwise?
knock out Chocolatito.
That too. Now,
What if
Buster
I
Douglas
told
was
you-
not
hold on,
supposed
Drew.
to knock
Hold
out
on,
Mike
Drew.
Tyson.
if
What if I
y'all,
told you otherwise?
no, wait, hold on. Now, if y'all watch my show, and I'm talking to the people in the chat, one of my biggest pet peeves about Bud was actually me like crying, like, yo, bro, don't do this. Do y'all remember what that was?
You don't fuck with
Y'all
us.
remember what Bud did when he flew down to Dubai, who he went to meet up with?
Tyson Fury.
And he got that picture with Fury. He went to go talk to Daniel Kinahan.
Drew,
That was before everyone knew
before
he
you
was
continue that, before you continue that, how many black sparring partners does Terrence Crawford have?
I don't know. I don't know.
Listen, he's got a big man in his camp that he's been sparring for years. What's my man named? Stephen.
Exactly.
He's been there with him for years. And there have been some others who have come and gone. He's got work out of Shakur. He's got it. Listen.
So you sparred Shakur to get ready for Canelo?
No, I didn't say
Come on
that.
here,
I
bro.
said he's gotten work out of Shakur.
Bro.
He's been recently sparring Andre Ward. So what are you getting at?
And Andre Ward made a mockery out of him.
What are you getting at, Xavier? What are you trying to say here? Just say what you're trying to say. Because if you're trying to swing the pendulum, people are going to support who they want to support. People are going to get behind who they think is going to win and who they think is not going to win. This is neither here nor there. You understand? Because again, in a climate that is being controlled, the only control that you have is for yourself.
Stormy, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Put your money on the gambling table or keep your money in your pocket. And Tommy Hearns told a former colleague of mine many years ago, sat right behind Tommy Hearns at a Sugar Shane Mosley fight.
I know Sugar Shane. He's been in my house.
And he said, man, I can't believe this happened, whatever the outcome of the fight. And Tommy put his hand on his shoulder and he said, listen, man, let me tell you something. He said, watch boxing. Love boxing with all your heart, but keep your money in your pocket.
What I tell you, Drew?
From a former multiple
what I tell you yesterday, Drew?
And legend of the sport.
Drew, what I tell you yesterday?
Love the sport.
Hey,
Love the sport. See, I know what you're saying. It's a business. I get it.
Always.
But what we're saying is, first of all,
sorry if my titties are hanging.
I want to burn the candlestick at both ends.
No.
We understand it's a business and there's danger in all of this. But right now, the title of the show is We Will Never Learn.
Never.
What I'm talking to
is
the dysfunction within my community. And I told you this yesterday when I saw this shit. I was like, what the fuck is Boots doing? And then we got into the discussion about the business aspect of it. And, don't be surprised if something happens with the outcome of everything. Look, we all know that. I'm talking about the lack of integrity of Boots. He doesn't give a shit at this point. And there's a lot of fighters that don't give a shit. Now, before you pulled up, I was saying, hey, man, I don't recall Boots being on any of the smaller channels either. Boots keeps his distance. Boots is no saint, but I'm not going to pick against him. And this shit that Boots is doing,
the fact that it was admitted by Xavier that Boots reached out to the Canelo camp.
Right. And that's my problem.
Is aligned with what we were originally discussing.
Exactly.
And that's all I was trying to get to originally. That's all.
Right.
This is a business first before it's anything else.
Oh, hey, let me say something real quick. Hey, I understand that when you, Xavier, what's up, man? I understand where you're
What's
coming
up,
from.
champ? I might have a
Yeah,
beer for you.
how you doing? Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. My whole
And
take on this,
Stormy
where I'm coming from is, I'm not trying to throw race in any by any means. What it is to me is, Boots had opportunity to fight Terrence Crawford, and he's going over there with Canelo. And I'm gonna give you another example too. We had Roy Jones on the show, and I asked Roy Jones, how is it that you could get Chris Eubanks Jr.'s, Chris Eubanks Sr.'s son in the ring to train him, but you could get him in the ring to fight him?
Okay, let me ask you a question, Stormy and Trick.
Mm-hmm.
What makes you think that Timothy Bradley and Sean Porter aren't on Canelo's payroll?
At this point, anything's pop. Yo, bro,
Yeah, you think it could be.
I'm gonna ask you something. Yo, bro, you been drinking? I know you're drinking now, but how many of those you had? I gotta ask.
Hey, Drew, you can't ask me those questions, bro.
No, bro, I gotta ask you. You sound crazy right now, bro.
You know
right?
I love you, man.
Yo,
I don't want to say more than I need to say. Hey, Drew, me and
bro.
you have conversations outside of here.
Yo,
as me and you do too as well.
And Trick.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right.
That's all good, man.
It's all good. Maybe I need to.
Okay. Well, I'm saying I don't want to get away from the point of the show.
Yeah,
The point of the show is Boots did what he did, and he's off cold.
No, look, listen. Look, I'm gonna get to that, and please, everyone, sympathize what I'm about to say. Boots, his older brother, friends with Canelo and the family, friends. When you train a certain fighter, and I'm training a guy to fight a black fighter, I have him spar with black fighters. If I'm having a black fighter sparring, getting ready for a Mexican fighter, I have him spar with Mexican fighters. It's got nothing to do with who is what and what's what. Boots, he don't really like Crawford like that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
As I said, there's no code.
Hey,
there's
Drew,
no fucking code.
Drew, me and you had a conversation last night.
That's what I'm saying. There's no code. And what did I tell you last night? He has no fucking business over there. You know why? I don't give a fuck if he don't like Bud. Then you go ahead and you tell Eddie Hearn, get me Bud after this Canelo shit.
What if I told you?
Or get me the winner. You know what he's doing? Yeah. He's over there with Team Reynoso. That's all I know now. And motherfuckers, and I'm gonna tell you something, man.
Go ahead, Drew.
Motherfuckers is riding Bud more for wearing a snack shirt than than Boots being over there with Reynoso with the whole fucking team pop.
Absolutely.
That's my problem. He has no business over there.
No, he has no business. And what if I told you? Should I say it?
Please, yes.
Boots got the brakes beaten off of him.
What if I told you that water was dry and that it's all a fucking illusion that there's moisture? Huh?
We're talking about boxing, bro.
Oh, we are. I was talking about something a few minutes ago, and that just got totally derailed.
Exactly my point.
No, exactly your action.
Oh, dude. Look, listen.
Put that damn glass down. Huh? And let's get back on subject here, man. Because look, you ain't Yoda out here, okay?
I'm not asking like Yoda, bro.
I understand what's going on. I understand what you're saying. But
Drew,
let's get back on point here, man.
Stop, Drew. Put your head up, bro.
Yo, all right, look. Here's the deal, man.
Tell him, Drew.
We are talking about Boots and his lack of code. Everyone is so quick to tell black people that there's no code, that it's not about code. What are y'all talking about code? But every time this fucking redhead wins a fight, what's the first thing he says? Viva Mexico. And he has every right to say that. He has
Tell him, Drew.
every right to say that. But if they're on code, if Reynoso was still in business, fucking Teofimo Lopez tried to go over there. And
Tell
the
him,
only
Drew.
reason why he didn't go over there to completion was because I think
Canelo was
Jaime
over
had
there.
just popped. I think Jaime had just popped, and shit
No.
got hot over there.
I don't think Canelo fuck with the racism shit.
Yeah, and that racist shit, that, you know, it was hot for him right now. But what I'm saying is, Reynoso should be out of business. All that shit going on over there, and this guy's Bud
What
has
makes
the
it-
opportunity to make history. How
Hey,
about
Drew,
this? I
what
would
makes
hold
you
on,
think
hold
he's
on,
not
hold
out
on.
of business?
I would rather Boots go to try and go to Bud's camp, help him beat Canelo, and ask Bud, yo, can I get a fucking shot?
Hey, who's Boots' trainer?
Who's training who?
Who is Boots' trainer?
Bosey's dad.
Bozy.
So what makes you think that Eddie Reynoso is not out of the picture?
But he's over there, bro. He shouldn't be anywhere. Yo, bro, listen. If there's a crack house up the street from me,
I got one.
bro, I'm not even walking down that block. I don't want nothing that's going on over. I don't want nothing to do with anything over there. I'm not going over there. If you over there, you pretty much asking for it.
Hey, quick story, Drew and Stormy and Xavier, I gotta go in a second. It's funny you say about not being somewhere. Drew, remember we first met in New York and you came and picked me up. You say, man, what you doing over here?
Yes. I say, yo, bro, I know you didn't know any better. But I said, shit, what you doing over here?
What you doing over here? So that's kind of where I'm going with it as well. But look at me, I gotta go, y'all. I gotta work and I gotta be working 10 o'clock tonight, man. But hey, good talking to you guys, man.
Trick. I love you, brother.
Hit me. We'll talk tomorrow, man. We all get together talk tomorrow, whatever.
I love you, brother. Hey, before you leave, don't think that I'm gonna say this to you, Drew, Stormy, and Trick. Don't think that Timothy Bradley and Sean Porter ain't on Canelo's side.
Yeah, Trick, I holler at you. Blue Blood Sports TV in the building. Salute, Blue.
I love Blue Blood. That's my guy.
I'm out, y'all.
All right now.
Take care, Trick.
All right.
Yeah.
Where's Blue Blood?
He's in the chat.
I love that dude, man. Good morning, YouTube.
Yeah. Yo, X, me and Stormy, we're gonna finish off cooking, brother. I'm gonna holler at you later.
All right, cool. You
All right, good, brother. Yes, sir. Well, Sugar Free Mars, salute, Queen. Show on the TV, salute. Let's just get back to Boots.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, let's
salute to Sugar Free. And salute to all the brothers and sisters that have come in and that were saluting me, but I was engaged here, but because I have to remain focused when the devils do. Okay, so yeah, listen, man. What I was saying still stands about understanding the play, the real question of who reached out to who. Now, we only have it on a chord that he shared with us. Xavier said that it was Boots that reached out to the Canelo camp. If in fact that happens to be actual, it speaks more about his character than anything, which is what we initially started out talking about on this show this evening. I did a live stream Friday morning en route to work called I called it Cowards, Caps,
yeah.
And what was the word? I said it's this this thing here is kind of throwing me a little bit, to the side. But the whole point of me making that was because I wanted to talk about how the lack of holding fort is so prevalent amongst us now. One of the names that we continue to forget to add to this list of characters would be Richardson Hitchens. He's also a part of that. And what we're seeing, it is so amazing because there are fighters who participate in the sport who look to represent where they're trying to get to the point of legacy and acknowledgement of that and everything. There are fighters who want the easy route. They want, hey, you're gonna kick me down with something? I'll turn my belly over for you. And then there are fighters who are just really they go whichever way the wind blows. But guess what? When I do my Tuesday tussle, do I not say that boxing actually mirrors life?
Absolutely.
Life mirrors boxing because every day is a battle. Sometimes you have to pick your fights. Thank you there, Chiquila. She says,
thank you.
Caps and Cowards. That was the name of my show. And I appreciate you guys for reminding me, but and that title was purposeful. But we got people in life. They will sell out. We got people who will fight to the end for the causes that they believe in. And then we have people who are in the middle. And they can be influenced by the strength of either other party. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is why if you want strength in the community, you have to speak, display, and act and demand the strength. You can't be weak. You can't be haphazard. You can't be shaky. That has to be displayed. And the weakness has to be put down, trampled under your feet. Have something to stand upon. Because if you leave that middle ground where a person can go either way, you'll be battling into your dying breath. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question, Stormy. Where the fuck do we go from here? As supporters of the sport.
We have to continue to talk about, be about, project that which is most earnest in the sport. There are a certain amount of individuals that require, demand, and need that type of support. That's what we have to throw the energy behind. That is questionable, that is tremendously fallible, and there's another word that I'm looking for at this time that compromises the ethic. You have to eliminate that. You have to ignore that. It was just mentioned about Sean Porter and Tim Bradley. But what have we known about Sean Porter and Tim Bradley for years? Why do you think their names never come out of my mouth?
They've been that way.
Exactly.
They've been that way.
And who are they to mention? Nobody.
Notice they've hung it up, and we're not talking about them. You know what they're doing? They're online agitating situations. They're online not supporting the real ones. That's what they're doing. Yeah. They're talking about Snack. They're talking about Devin in a negative light. They're talking about Bud in a negative light.
Sean Porter sat right next to Larry Merchant when he made that famous monologue that you talk about often. Yep. Sat right next to him
and smiled about it.
Wilder Fury fight.
Is this the last we've seen, and no offense, of the great Black Hope? That was the first time y'all seen that. Y'all thought I was making it up. And now you got guys that we defended before there was an LDBC, before there was YouTube. We defended these guys in barbershops, basketball courts, gyms. And then when we got on YouTube, we defended them online and blogs and everything against all kinds of racism and everything else. And now they're on here on the opposite side of things.
Larry Merchant allowed himself to lose so much respect for a Hall of Fame fighter that he had the gall to tell the man in the ring after one of his performances, if I was 50 years younger, I'd kick your ass.
Yes.
He should have been fired off of that network in that very night.
That's right.
And he wasn't. Do you all know why he wasn't fired?
Because their code means everything to them. They will die by it. You want to know how y'all know that? Let me show y'all how that's true about them dying by a code. What killed HBO boxing?
The fact that they were trying to bring in people from another part of the world over the homegrown talent that was really worth the acknowledgement and respect.
That's right.
And they did that, and people tuned out.
And they died by that. They didn't care. They sank the fucking ship. They didn't care. They did not care.
And so what we saw as a result of that is they said, well, we brought these fighters over here. They're still not good. Let's let them cheat.
That's what they did. They shoved Klitschko's in our face, didn't they? They sure did.
They even got some of our trainers to do away with cultivating the homegrown talent and working with those people. Even one of our star fighters bent himself over backwards to go get a citizenship overseas. You see, all of this self-hate and self-effacing, it has existed for a while, but some of y'all just don't know what the hell you're looking at.
Y'all don't. Y'all will never get it.
And how many times have I called it talking about individuals without talking about them? Because there's still a certain amount of consideration that I give, but I let you know when I say things that I am not in the dark about it. And that's another reason that my channel is being shadow banned.
Because when we talk the truth, nobody wants to listen. You want to talk about being on code? I get more knuckle draggers fussing with us over here than even listening to the truth. When I say, hey, man, look, you don't believe me? And nothing drives me more crazy when I hear a YN talking about, oh, no, it's not about race. You're talking about race. Like I was born in the 30s and things are different now. And when I tell you, go subscribe to Scrapbook Boxing and learn about the history of the sport and how we was treated and how we're doing it today. I had some motherfucker in my comment section saying, ain't nobody doing nothing to Bud. Bud's a millionaire. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. We had a black president named Barack Hussein Obama. Did that mean racism is dead?
No, it actually flipped this country on its edge even more. People
exactly
were so angry about that. They haven't gotten over that.
How many black people were killed during the Obama administration by police officers and got away with it? Look it up. He was in the administration for 8 years. Look it up.
Probably an increase in it.
Oh, there's a number, but I want to know how many people know. And I know every fucking name. Do the homework. Don't tell me that there's no racism because there's black millionaires. They'll pull the plug on every last one of these niggas. Guess what? Michigan, where the quote is from, isn't there still fire blowing out the goddamn pipes over there? Did you know that to fix that, it's not like an ungodly amount of money? Did you ever ask, how come these millionaire rappers and baseball players and football players and boxers didn't just put money in a pot to get that shit fixed? You ever wondered why they didn't do that? You know why? I heard through the grapevine, an athlete that I know personally that you might see running around ESPN. When I spoke to the motherfucker, I said, yo, man, why not? Yeah, I ain't put the, he said, man, we tried. I said, what? Well, what happened? You know what he told me? He said, we were told to mind our business. I said, you're kidding. He said, I spoke to my people, my accountant, and we reached out to this, and that. And they called us and said, I suggest y'all mind your business. What do you mean? We got money. We can fix this. It's not even the government. You know, I suggest y'all black asses mind your business. Y'all notice Jay-Z? Y'all don't see him like talking, being a political leader. What happened when I asked y'all dumb niggas, what happened to our black leadership? You know, all of them are dead. These niggas don't want to die. Y'all thought I was joking when I said, you know, Tank Davis with the booty clapping video, and me and the sensei said, nah, he did that video for somebody. Y'all forgot that kid's fucking airplane slid off the runway? Y'all thought I was joking when I said, hey, maybe someone called him and said, yo, man, next time we don't get compliance from you, we're going to wait till that fucker reaches 20,000 feet before we drop that fucker. You're going to do what we say. Y'all don't know how many of these athletes and artists are under duress, which is why we had a fight
the
up there.
drug problem comes in.
Exactly. That's where the drug. Y'all don't find it strange how Jamal Charlo's acting? Out of nowhere? Wake up. We had a fighter on here, and I said, yo, you don't miss it. You know, the lights and the money, and you were damn good.
Nope.
And then he says, yo, I'd rather have a 9 to 5. Let me just block
and
this.
And guess what other industries people say that about? Music and entertainment.
Music and entertainment. Let me get to these super chats, man. Boxing Fan Times 4 says HBO fell in love with Al Jerry's story. They sure did. In that aspect, they just took the American from Long Island over the European. Ravens Nation, salute to you in that super chat. He said, what if I told you water was dry? He said, listen, Stormy got me in tears. Freedom's March, my brother, in that super chat salute. He says, we have to speak louder, often, with conviction, per usual. Stay on their necks, boomstick, on their back mentality. Man, I hear you, brother. I'm out here doing the Lord's work. That's why I block knuckle draggers and coons. Ray's son, my brother, in that super chat salute. He says, I think Bud and Blue Blood was staying on code with that BLK Prime, but I might have been too blind to see that at the time. My apologies. Now, listen, it's okay. As a matter of fact, y'all remember what the talk of the town was when Bud went over there and his gloves bust? Remember that? When his gloves was all busted? Y'all remember what I said? What busted gloves?
Not only that, for that comment that brother made there, let me say this. Your emotion and attentiveness behind that situation at that time was clouded by some of these other people who are agents of chaos out here.
And it happens. It happens, Ray. It
happens. But see, this is why you gotta keep your foot on solid ground. Understand, we're not entertaining the foolishness.
Yeah.
And even though, and this is not, I'm not coming at the young man, Xavier, when he was on here a moment ago, when he was saying the things that he was saying, notice what I was trying to do. I was trying to keep him on point and on track with the question that I asked historically about where and why the Roman games were brought into play. You see, because that kind of like lets you know that it's been going on a long time, hasn't it? A long time. And the only thing that I said has changed is the calendar date. Right?
Yeah.
But I also preceded that with talking about the history of the sport, how long boxing has been around, how long have Black fighters been allowed to participate. You see?
Yeah.
And then that's when things changed, when they started to notice that John L. Sullivan wasn't the baddest man in the house. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Because given an opportunity to go head up one-on-one, they started to find out like, well, if we don't keep these people under oppression and everything, they will dominate us.
Hey, Stormy, question. And I got to cut out, y'all, but question. How many of you knuckle dragons even Googled John L. Sullivan until you heard Tyson Fury say his name? And I'll land my fucking plane right there, man. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelda, Cash App, the Super Chat. I got to run. I got something I got to do, man. Stormy, let them know they can find you, good brother.
Everybody can find me right out here on YouTube. It's Stormy B Man is the channel. That's Stormy B Man in all caps, but no cap.
And never forget this shit right here. Unprovoked, 2 undefeated fighters. Andre Ward was not retired at the time. Okay? He was undefeated. This was before the Kovalev fights. Bud just won. And unprovoked, Teddy Atlas tells Bud and Andre Ward, Lomachenko's #1 pound for pound. I took this picture off of my TV and I made this meme. How much they pay you to say that shit, Teddy? Because Teddy's on cold. Because y'all hoes be lying. Yeah, I'm going to run, Stormy. I'm going to call you later.
All right, man.
All
Peace
right,
to everybody.
Salute. Bronx on deck.
Move! Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.